I think we both know cases where cancel culture was too much, but I do think that sometimes it's appropriate. For example, cancel this piece of shit. This Japanese musician is also well known in the West, and I'll be talking about shit a lot today because this dude is obsessed with it. Today's topic is extremely disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised. 52-year-old Keigo Oyamada, who is also known by the moniker Cornelius, is a pioneering musician in the Japanese shibuya-kei music scene in the 90s. And shibuya-kei is a kind of a fashionable indie pop music that people dress up like this would listen to. Some of you might not have heard of him before, but I used to live in Australia and I was surprised that some of the music fans over there knew of Cornelius. So he is quite successful within the music industry. On the 15th of July, the music team for the opening ceremony of the Olympics and Paralympics were announced, and it was revealed that Cornelius will be in charge of composition, and people on the internet went nuts. People were outraged, and I am not exaggerating. I don't think I've seen an online outrage like this for a very long time. As you are aware, the Paralympics is a sporting ceremony for athletes with different disabilities, and one of the concepts of this year's Olympics is diversity and harmony. Well, Cornelius is proud of forcing disabled kids to eat human excrement. I am not joking. In magazine interviews he did back in 1994 and 1995, he boasted about bullying disabled kids all through his school life, even in high school. From the way he described, these kids had intellectual disabilities and he knew about it. The details are really shocking. In the 1994 interview, Cornelius said that the bullying was so severe that he described it as a crime against humanity. Bullying involved stripping, tying people up into bondage with rope, forcing his victim to masturbate, forcing him to eat excrement. After the kid ate the excrement, Cornelius did a back suplex wrestling move on him. Reading that alone is extremely disturbing. In the written interview, the transcription said that he was laughing hard about it. Then he said that he didn't do it directly, but was the one giving ideas. The interviewer said that makes it even worse. But then he contradicts this in the 1995 interview, which was even worse, where he recounted his bullying for 22 pages. The bullying details are really graphic and extent, but I'll be summarizing a lot. In elementary school, he forced a disabled kid called Sawada into a cardboard box, taped it shut with duct tape, poked some air holes into it, and left Sawada there. And he was laughing hard about it in the interview. In high school, he was stripping Sawada naked and leaving him walk around. He was commenting on Sawada's penis size, saying that it was bigger than when he was in elementary school. So this disabled kid was bullied and force stripped throughout his entire school life. Cornelius also commanded a small disabled classmate with intellectual disabilities called Murata to buy things like chewing gums for him. He was really proud of bossing Murata around. And during a school field trip, Cornelius kept doing wrestling moves on Murata because Murata was small and easy to beat. In the interview, Cornelius said, "People with disability for some reason gather around in a library. The library was like a huge theme park, lol. It's probably a place of escape for them." He also said that the PE storage room had many things he could use to bully, so he would put a PE mat on Sawada and then did a jumping knee pad onto the mat. He said, "It was totally dangerous, yo, lol." The interviewer later spoke to Murata's mother, and she said that Murata thought of taking his own life in middle school. In terms of Sawada, his disability became worse, and he never returned to becoming a member of society. The interview ends by asking Cornelius what he would like to say to the people he bullied if he met them now. Cornelius said, "Oh, I would love to meet them. It'll be fun." When asked whether he was a bully, he said, "What I did was bad, but I don't think it was bullying." Again, this is a 22-page interview that I've summarized a lot, and he also said that he bullied a kid of a North Korean descent. He was also laughing about people with Down syndrome who went to a special needs school nearby. When you're judging people based on their past actions, I think it's important to consider the time and the context. For example, some kids might feel pressured to participate in bullying, and you don't really develop your moral compass and decision-making abilities until your early to maybe mid-20s. That being said, it was obvious in the interviews that he did when he was 25 and 26 that he was really proud of having bullied those disabled kids throughout his school life. People have reproached him over and over again over these interviews for the past 25 years, and he never once apologized. There is no excuse at that point. And making someone eat excrement is really depraved, and there's something fundamentally wrong with him. There are people who are saying that it's all in the past. To them, I want to ask, if you or your family members had these horrible things done for many years, would you be saying the same thing? And if you're saying that it's in the past, after how many years do you think that the crime will go away when the perpetrator showed no remorse? What is a cutoff point for these people? Some people are saying that cancel culture or online lynch mob is wrong, but I think for most people, they just don't want someone like Cornelius, who is proud of bullying disabled people, to work on the Paralympics. Also, if you agree with rehabilitating a person back into society after they committed a crime, so basically giving people second chances, that would involve holding people accountable for their actions. As long as Cornelius refuses to apologize properly, this legacy will haunt him. On the 16th, he issued an apology on Twitter, admitting that he has hurt his classmates in the past, that the magazines had some exaggerations. He offered an apology to his victims, saying that he would like to apologize to them in person. He apologized for making people feel uncomfortable, and that he wanted to do his best as a musician. He will still be working for the Paralympics. The irony is just astounding. The Olympics organizing committee is on his side as well. They said that Cornelius is now an amazing, highly ethical musician, and that they want him to keep working on the Olympics, the game that promotes peace. People are really confused as to why he was hired to begin with, given his history. Obviously, most people are not okay with his apology. I've seen comments online such as him saying that he wants to directly apologize to the victims is what makes him a bully. He's not thinking about the other person at all and thinks that what he wants has a higher priority. Perpetrators are always like this. They only want to apologize when they are threatened. If this was in the US, he wouldn't be able to perform as a musician anymore. He ignored all basic human rights, and it makes me question him as a human being. Apologizing won't erase the hurt that he has caused onto others. What I think about Cornelius's apology is that after everything he has done, he can't even apologize in front of a camera, film it, and post it online. After everything he has done, he thinks that a JPEG file on a Twitter was enough. That is how much of a coward he is. It's obvious that he's only apologizing so that he can keep his job, and I don't think he means it at all. He clearly looks down on disabled people so much that he won't withdraw from making music for the Paralympics, for the people he made fun of. I checked Cornelius in some of the interviews, and he seems really awkward and out of place. Even in his 40s, he has to pretend and wear sunglasses indoors for an interview. The guy clearly hates himself and knows what kind of person he is. That's why he had to pick on disabled people. Someone who can't fight back. Someone who was defenseless. He evaded taking any responsibilities for his actions for the past 25 years, and the past has finally caught up with them. There are so many more things that I would like to say, but I will end this video with this one message to Cornelius. Cornelius, whatever you do with your life, you will always be the only musician in the world who was proud of making disabled people eat shit. People will always remember you as a musician obsessed with shit.